welcome to the Underground channel. I don't even know how to begin or how to start what I have just learned in the past couple of hours on my Facebook, other people's Facebooks, and YouTube. I first was warned by a couple of my subscribers that to be very, very careful because of the videos that they had posted or had copied from my videos and posted on Facebook. Facebook is changing, and their only objective is to track everybody in America, all over the world, in fact. And what I'm about to show you may be very alarming, if not scary, of what is actually happening on this side of the fence, that you don't know what's going on. At least most of you don't know what's going on because you got your eyes on and believing in everything you hear on the news over the coronavirus and the scare tactics. Excuse me, the scare tactics, because your eyes are focused on what they want you to know and see. And that's a prophecy in the Bible that is not coming to pass. It's actually happening right now. What happened? The videos that you've seen that I have posted of doctors and nurses stating that in their hospitals, it's being reported on the news media that they got so many cases inside their hospitals of the coronavirus. I started posting the videos where the doctors are saying they don't know why these numbers are being put on the news media that so many people has died or has the coronavirus, and people are starting to get wise, and the government, let's say Democrats, has are trying to take this all down. They just took down some of my videos after I was warned by a couple of my subscribers that videos that they had put up on shares is being taken down by third-party 5G trackers. And another subscriber showed me how he got around it a little bit for a little while, how to disable this feature temporarily before it comes mandated that that feature will not have an on and off switch, so you can turn it off temporarily. One guy in his business on Facebook has completely just turned their Facebook off and stopped the tracking and turned off their GPSs that says they want your location, and you click OK, or if you don't click OK now, you don't get to get into the app or whatever it is that they've already got configured. I'm trying to make this not so long, but I fear that it is going to end up being long because I got some evidence I'm going to post in this video down the line. Now, the first thing I want you to know is you've been listening for years, since 1999 when they did the first test in America to see what people would do or who would stand up and put the truth out there, or not go with the grain of the Democrats back then. And y'all know that was the Y2K scam scare in 1999. Some of you may be old enough to remember this and know that my videos a year prior to that stating that the Y2K is a scam. It's not going to happen. And they tried to bring me down back then. And actually, some things did happen to me. And so I gave in and stopped trying to be what they call a whistleblower. But everybody said I was crazy. They tried to cut my videos off, which back then they didn't have the technology that they do now with this 5G. And where I was saying it's a scam, don't panic, but people was running out buying toilet paper and generators like crazy. And excuse me, that's not the coronavirus. But it came out just like I told everybody, starting a year before it happened. And that it was a scam. It was a test, a government test to see the best way to be able, the wind's starting to blow and my door just shut, was just a test. They had this technology back in 1980 in Fort Benning, Georgia. How do I know? I was one of the ones there. I'm ex-military. And it's amazing what you don't know, what 5G can do to you. I posted a video. They put within the last month, they put up 3 towers around my house. They're all within probably about 1 mile of each other. But these antennas in small towns of 5G are being put up around the little towns and cities as a perimeter. And in bigger cities, they're just being blunt and putting them all the way up and down street and turning street lights into 5G everywhere. Maybe a lot of you seen that video before they took it down, where I showed, I think it was 2015 maybe, or 2014. Columbus, Ohio was declared to be the first city in America and the first city in Ohio to be converted into the first stage of a smart city. So Columbus, they just finishing it when they had the lockdown. A lot of these 5G antennas are going up everywhere so that you don't have your eyes on them. And but I want to get back to the original content because you know what I feel about 5G. And also being in the military, what I have seen what 5G can do if you up the gigahertz. It does something different, just like your microwave in your house. You can up the power for it to do a little something different and be more hotter or cook faster. They can do it with their directional weapons back in 1980 that they just put on the back of SUV Hummers, and they can aim it, and it can knock whole crowds of people down on their feet, if not seriously do brain damage or internal damage because of the way the waves get inside their bodies and literally cook them inside out, just like your microwave does, except your microwave has a small protector barrier to keep the microwaves bouncing inside your microwave with an all-directional 5 foot 5 foot circle diameter 5G, and I don't call it an antenna. I call phase cannons, what I call it. They can aim it at crowds of people and literally put you down on your feet if it doesn't cook you and kill you. But back then, they could only get it up to about 150 gigahertz. Now, in space, with their 5G antennas or emitters in space, they can direct their beams using the sun as they're charging energy to literally put any place they want on fire. So if 5G can do that, with about 800, as I was saying, they can get it up probably even past 800 gigahertz now. And they can literally aim it at anything. Now, the thing that's different than, say, like a forest fire or a town that's being burnt completely, a whole town, like in California, what this does is when they leave it on so long, it's not actually like a burnt tree, like your fire pit or whatever, how the wood turns to black ash and charcoal little bits. You've seen it. You've set fires before. Um, what it does is it turns everything into like white ash snow. So, like the one in California, if you did the research on the fires or saw the video before they took it down, how the California fire um, was in certain areas like a white circle inside it. And in that white circle, in that fire zone, which I call ground zero, um, was turned to white ash. White. When everything should have been black and charcoalish and everything. And I don't know if they've left the news people who went in and videoed it and were saying this is kind of weird. Why is it white? I don't know if that's still up or not. Go and research it for yourself and watch the videos if they're still up. When I posted it, a lot of people shared it to YouTube, like the videos that I had shared. I just discovered that not YouTube, but Facebook today has changed everything. Sorry, I had to turn my heater off. Facebook has changed overnight while you were sleeping. And I just found out this morning what's going on. And I did some other research. And it seems like Facebook is sold out to China, Russia, and North Korea for some reason. And this tracking is, they're using this new 5G to do this. And 5G is very hard to explain. And it's like so far-fetched out there, you're not going to believe it. Most of you ain't. So, it's amazing what 5G can do and what it is doing. Did you all see the videos once they turned on the 5G around my house after they got the towers up and everything? I don't think the camera could pick them up good, but I'm going to try to go to that one. That one's the newest one. One night it was there. The next day I saw a crane sticking up, but there was nothing there. It was just a crane. And then the next morning, the antenna's finished. It's probably about 150 feet tall, maybe 200. And it looks like something out of this movie that I'm trying to find where everybody is marching around in a big circle at the end of this. It's like a Holocaust movie that has came out with some good actors. And at the end of the movie, the guy's walking like this around the antenna, and he'd been searching for his son. And when he found him, his son is walking beside him, and everybody's just walking around in a circle. It was a Hollywood movie that might be dead on, that they really got this one right, because it's hard telling what they can do with this technology. But anyways, I'm keeping a track on the time because I can only record in 10-minute segments and I don't have the money to buy the full version, or I can make these videos a lot better and be a lot easier on me. But anyways, the 5G weapons is what I call them. They're not just antennas, they're weapons. And Once you're forced to take the mark, like a lot of Americans are taking right now voluntarily, in your hand, I don't think they're putting it in their foreheads, because they're a little round, small pill capsule looking like, and they're called the 5G RIFD chips. And if you watch the videos of Bill Gates saying the only way we can beat this virus is for everybody to have that chip, so that they can control the people and keep track of the people. And this 5G can tell you the temperature of your body. If they just want to look up, they got, and it pops up on their mainframe systems to whoever's monitoring it. Right now, they're called 5G third-party systems. And I'm getting ready to show you that they're evident and it's real on Facebook right now. So I'm going to post those videos. I'm going to put it in this video on the next segment because I'm down to 6 minutes. So this is what you need to do if you want to protect yourself or your family. Start getting yellow root, ginseng root, because the ginseng will build your immunity system really good. Yellow root will get rid of a fever within like 30 minutes. And the combination between these both of these teas that you can make, which I've been telling you for years, on my videos. And my brother is now also doing the same thing, getting these roots and stuff. And he's putting videos on Facebook on how to do this and showing you the root. I don't have the money to buy it. So I'm probably just crap out of luck. I just can't get enough money to go and pay the government what I owe them off, so-called owe them, and to get my visa so I can go be with my family in the Philippines. I need about 50 grand so that I can pay that off, which is 31,000, and my school loan, which a trucking company should have paid off, but they went under and left me with holding the bag through MTA trucking school. And I got a couple minutes. And left me holding the bag, and they won't let me have a visa until that's paid off. I wish some rich person out there who knows the truth, who has a lot of money, could help me out, and so I could be in the Philippines. My idea of not only being there to help my family is but to get 3 rice fields going, to build an underground commodity, to be able to get rice to organizations, to people like you, when the food source comes up, because right now the volunteers are the test, and people are going up and they're taking the chip automatically here in America. India, their phase is finished. They're a cashless society now. Everything's done with the mark. They don't even have money there no more. A couple other countries too. They're not fully done like India is, but some of those eastern countries are just about there. China is doing the same thing right now. That's why they're having a revolution and a lot of propaganda trying to make it look like it's the coronavirus. But 16 million people in China just threw their 5G phones into the streets, and they're cutting it all off. And the government's having a hard time with those people, and to portray it that it's, oh my goodness, why's my camera got a red light in the camera? Something's going on with my camera. That's weird. In my camera, there's a green light letting me know that it's on off the side of the camera. But inside the camera is a little red dot coming on inside the camera. I've never seen a camera ever do that before. I'm gonna have to check that out. That's something weird. But anyways, okay, I'm back. I lost the 10 minute. I wasn't watching my time, but something's going on with my camera, and I don't know. I hope I'm not being hacked and being watched at the same time I'm trying to record this, because I've never seen a red light inside the camera lens before. Have you? Leave a comment down below. But anyways, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull up Facebook. Right here, what you're looking at is somebody who's, I think, has already deleted his account. But this is one of his videos that he did have up that got taken down. And you can read it about what Facebook has done and how he got around it temporarily. Now, you might be able to do the same thing if you're one of the people that's posting videos like me or anybody else about the FEMA Walmart camps that are popping up everywhere in America, especially the ones that are around train tracks, and about the 5G antennas, and or where I was taking videos from doctors and staff who runs hospitals and nurses, um, like the one I'm getting ready to show you next, um, are being taken down. And this 5G third party, whoever they are taking these videos down. And I noticed some of my other subscribers has told me anything that is supporting the President Trump, um, anybody that puts anything out there that is evident about President Trump and their supporters of President Trump, those videos are starting to be taken down too. So you might want to be careful. I fear that President Trump is under duress from higher people, governments, or whatever you want to call, trying to keep the United States safe and from being attacked during this time. He might be under duress a little bit. I'm not going to stop supporting President Trump because I already know what the Bible says about Trump, and his name is in the Bible. And what happens when it says at the last trump, that's when a short time after that, the supernatural trumpet will sound. And that's where everybody on earth will bow their knees, just like it says in the Bible. Go research it yourself. You can look at Daniel, the book of Daniel. You can get a little bit out of, I think, about Exodus and the book of Revelations, especially, tells you in detail when these things that are now happening have been written 2,000 years ago. And all the prophecies from 1945, May 13th, I think it was, starting on that date, all the prophecies from then till right now at the present, those are all fulfilled. So if those are all fulfilled, the other prophecies from this time on tells you exactly what's going to happen and how it's going to happen and what we as Christians got to do. Now, God gave us an order, and he said, we stand up for the truth. We stand by the truth, and we fear not them, the governments, or anybody. The only one you have to fear is God Almighty himself, because those prophecies are about to happen starting from now and on to fill the rest of the prophecies. And I got to check the time out because my big one ain't up. Let me see if I can, there. Now I can see the time. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I just popped it up. And so anyway, one of the prophecies is the mark. The mark in your hand or your forehead. Right at this present time, many of the Democrat side, many of the people who believe in the Democrat side are the ones that are voluntarily. I got somebody driving by. Well, that's strange. A black SRUV. What are they doing there? As you can hear the crunching, that my little road right here is gravel. Some black not RV, SUV drove by, and the windows are so black you couldn't even see inside the windows. But anyways, back to what I was talking about. People in America is already what they call phase one. Those are the supporters of the Democrats, the supporters of anybody in the Democrat Party, or the wrong wing of the what they call the White House. I don't know why they call it a wing, but those are the volunteers. Those are the ones that's already following Bill Gates. They will do anything that Bill Gates says. And Bill Gates, if you watch the news, says the only way to beat the virus is to take the 5G RIFD chip. And what that chip can do is can tell them where you're at within 3.5 feet. Because it's also integrated into what they call Qualcomm. I don't know if you know what Qualcomm is, but research it. And they started Qualcomm to start testing tracking and tattletale systems with the truckers, and they put them on the trucks. You might have seen these back in the late 80s and all through the 90s with all these trucks driving up and down the road. You might have seen these white little round, what I call gumball um, satellites antennas on top of the trucks. Maybe you're old enough that you remember those. I don't know. In the 70s, the first test was with these chips, was with the animals to put in your pets. So if your pet got lost, you could find your pet. And see, this technology has been here way longer than you ever even think it was. And most of you wasn't even born when it all started with what they called a microchip. And they integrated the microchip with all the court systems and courts and clerks of courts all over the United States under the Jimmy Carter Act and the UPC Symbol Act that started in the 70s, for those of you who are not old enough to have lived through all this history to gain any wisdom or knowledge. So I got like 2 minutes on this. So on the next little segment, which I'm adding this all together, it's up to you if you want to watch it. You will see the video that I had on my YouTube channel, and people was sharing it and copying it and downloading it in case it got taken off. And this is what happened sometime last night while I was asleep, and I wasn't aware of it until another subscriber of mine told me to be very careful that I could be in danger. But I'm going to keep on going for you as long as I can, and I'm going to keep my hope that somebody out there who's rich can help me get to my family in the Philippines. They have it much, much worse than me. So, I can't stress how much you need to watch every word of this video. Uh, it's just a raw video, and I'm going to start showing you some more evidence. So, I'm down to the last 9 seconds, so it's going to be a splice, and then I'll add another video right behind it, and I'm going to show you something. Okay, this is the next segment. As I said, with my video that people were sharing about nurses and doctors stating that nobody was really sick in their hospitals with the coronavirus, but when somebody also dies from a heart attack or anything, for some reason the coroners are putting on their death certificates that they died of coronavirus. And a guy got eaten by a shark. It's on Facebook. You can look for it. He got eaten by a shark, and on the death certificate, they said he died of a coronavirus. That one there probably won't last very much longer, because what they're doing is they're coming and putting on your video. When they take it off, they're leaving a messages saying that there is no evidence to support your claims, and that's why they're taking it off, even though it's live video and you recorded it, and they're saying there's no evidence of that. Kind of like what they're doing with the 5G. You seen the video of me showing you all the birds that's just falling out of the sky dying, and how they were all over my yard from these 3 5G antennas that's around. And you seen the video when I was living in the woods in a tent with a bunch of other homeless families, where all these rats started running for dear life, like thousands of them. They didn't pay attention to us. They didn't attack us. They were just trying to make a beeline to get out of there. If that video is still up, go back and watch that one again. But anyways, let me find it. I'm doing this live. So if I can find it again, I might have to pause the video to find it. Let me go to the beginning of mine. Pop that back up there so I know. I don't know why my Facebook ain't loading up so fast right now. Okay, there we go. It should be here pretty soon. Man, it's going so slow all of a sudden. I think they're governing me down again. As soon as I get past all these other videos that I shared. I hope they didn't take that one down too. I'm surprised those are still up. There it is. Okay, let me put this down on the tray. I got a few minutes. This is the video of a nurse exposing the coronavirus and as the 5G. See right here? This was the video that I had posted on YouTube, and it's about, this is the title of it, and they took it down. It says false information checked by independent fact checkers. Now, who's these fact checkers? If you dig into it a little bit, or if one of your videos has been done this, and this is the message you're seeing, only with the people who are supporting President Trump or exposing the scam about the virus, why the numbers are placing up, and then people dying of heart attacks and brain aneurysms, why the orders are they only can be allowed to put it down as a coronavirus death. So they're trying to get the numbers built up to do the same thing that Bill Gates is wanting, because all these top organizations and money organizations from all over the world, and Facebook has sold out to China, Russia, and North Korea for some reason. I don't know why they would do that, but they did. And this is the results of that video. Now let's click see why. False. There is no evidence to support any of the claims being made in this video. Now, I think the hospital's videos are being taken down too because I can't find them now. So don't you think that's strange that doctors who are running these hospitals are now trying to get the word out that something is more sinister and something else is happening, and why their hospitals are empty, but on the news media, the media and the Democrats are portraying there should be 1,000 people in his hospital and so many people died. But he says his video stated that when I posted it, stated that the people that were dying of brain aneurysms and heart attacks or car wrecks, they're instructing him to put coronavirus on the death certificates, and I think that's kind of strange. Why would they want to put coronavirus on death certificates? If you remember the video that I posted about, I don't know, maybe a month ago, why wasn't anybody anywhere in the United States, why wasn't there death certificates and people being buried? Everybody went to these hospitals and nobody has the coronaviruses in all of these hospitals. And why are the doctors being pressed to put on death certificates that they died of the coronavirus? What's this doing? Why? Why lie about somebody dying with the coronavirus? And why is these videos being taken down saying there's no evidence? And if there's no evidence, why do they even care the videos up? Somebody is trying to use this, and they're trying to make President Trump look bad so he don't get elected another term. But according to the Bible, President Trump is the last president of the United States. So he is going to win the next term. The Democrats can't stop it, and nothing can stop it. It's impossible to stop it. So you're either on God's side or not God's side. And what God says in the Bible and Revelations and about Trump being the last Trump, and meaning that the last president, that soon after, maybe before his second term is completely over, according to the Revelations and the prophecies, God's going to supernaturally overshadow President Trump with the Holy Ghost. He is under the direction of God, and that's why nobody can get Trump out of there. That's why he's always there, because God is orchestrating it. And it's in the Bible. Now, you can find this in Revelations, and you can find this everywhere. Now, I'm going to end the video here, and I'm going to tell you, I got some more evidence, and as long as these black SUVs quit driving up and down the road with their dark windows, I will get back up in here and post some more evidence to prove these facts. And you need to share. You need to share this, and you need to subscribe so you can be notified and help me. I can't do it by myself. And when I said that the sun and humidity and other things would stop the virus cold in its tracks over a month ago, now it's coming out. If you watch the last presidential campaign or whatever news briefing, now he's talking about what I was talking about over a month ago. Check those videos out. So sunlight is ultraviolet light. No virus can live under ultraviolet light. You can go to your pet stores and buy ultraviolet lights. And if you want to know how to protect yourself, subscribe.